Rockies so far 4-1 on this extended homestand, 9 games, and in fact they're going to be home for 12 of 15 because they'll go to Cincinnati next week for a brief 3-gamer and then they'll come right back home. The Rockies looking to make hay with a win tonight. They can improve to 500 again back at home. And John Gray is looking to build on his last outing. It was a workman-like performance as he beat Cincinnati, and you heard Buddy describe it. He made sure he hung around for 6 innings and navigated his way through traffic at times.
Well, and I thought that was a key for John because he was a little shaky early, some seeing eye base hits, but then he retired 11 of the last 14 guys that he faced. Didn't use his fastball as much in the later innings, more of the off-speed variety. So I thought this was a big moment for John to get through that 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs, but those 4 runs came in the first 3 innings.
Well, the Rockies able to keep the Giants off the scoreboard yesterday in the first. It's the first time in this homestand, that the Rockies did not give up a first inning run. Here's the arsenal. You know he throws hard. The slider has not been as consistent yet this year as it was most of last year.
No, and it's getting hit at a little higher clip this year. The hard hit rate on the slider is a little over 11%.
Believe it or not, he was below 4% last year. Here's the 1-1 on Hernandez.
That's a curveball.
Yeah.
Good job of breaking that one out early. And I think for John, too, as we see the hard hit rate against the slider, this curveball is a very playable pitch for an off-speed pitch. You know, a couple of years ago it wasn't, and now it is part of the mix.
Well, right now, John is still in sunlight as he delivers the baseball. It's going to make it difficult. I think really just for the Giants, I think by the time the Rockies hit, Derek Holland will be completely in shadows. Try another breaking ball and miss, so it's now 3-2 on Hernandez. Hernandez is about as hot as anybody this side of his teammate Brandon Crawford, and last night the Rockies finally kept him hitless, snapped his 10-game hitting streak. Still 11 for his last 25.
During that 10-game hit streak, he had 425. I mean, that's raised his average about 40-something points.
And the thing about it also is that he's hitting the ball in the gap and he's hitting the ball over the fence. Not something he's done in the past. This is a lengthy at bat already out of the gate. This will be pitch number 8 for John against Hernandez.
Well, John, like a few of the other Rockies pitchers, have had a little bit of an issue in the first. He's got a 6.55 ERA in the first inning.
70 degrees our game time temperature, but we have 30-mile-an-hour gusts. And right now, subject to change, it's blowing in from left field, from the Casey. Smell those hot dogs that he's grilling. Swung on, and a foul tip held by Walters. Good job by Gray as he wins that battle with a 96-mile-an-hour heater. 1 out. That'll bring up Buster Posey. And here's the rest of Bruce Bochy's lineup. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Evan Longoria hit a couple home runs yesterday. He'll bat 5th. They always put Bell against righties in the cleanup spot, or they typically do. Of course, McCutcheon's in the 3 spot tonight. Then it's Crawford, Mac Williamson, and that big second baseman, Pablo Sandoval, the versatile one. The second time in less than a week he's playing second base tonight. More on that when he comes up. Posey got a breaking ball and missed it. There's Kung Fu Panda.
For Buster Posey, 13th time in his career he's hit in the 2nd spot in the batting order. If you go back to 2010, he did it 9 times.
It was about 2 or 3 years ago. Every year there's trends in baseball, and the 2 spot became the sexy spot for your best hitter.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, I think most of the time still hits in the 2 spot with the Angels.
You're hoping he gets up there that 1 extra time.
Chris Bryant with Joe Madden a lot of times is hitting in that 2 spot.
Joe, you're not sure. You got to check the lineup every day. He had Rizzo hitting leadoff earlier this year.
He's done that before, yeah. 0-2 on Posey, and a breaking ball, and Buster swings and misses. Great pitching by John Gray to Posey. That's 2 nights in a row that Buster Posey's way out of his front side. Yesterday it was against Freeland.
And this is a curveball in the Subaru Supermo, way out in front. And then you wonder if it's partially because of the shadows that he just didn't see it. Whatever it was, I still look at the pitch probably more than the sunlight, the way the rotation on the baseball was.
McCutchen takes a slider on the inside corner for a strike. Take a look at the Rockies defensively. Noel Cuevas, lefties on the mound. You know he's going to be in there. Cargo's in there again naturally. Arenado Story, Castro at second. Desi's at first, and Tony Walters has the gear on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Daniel. DJ LeMahieu played again down in extended spring. Everything went well. It's a good day for him. And in Buddy's words, I'll give you the quote. We get this frequently. DJ's close, and then Buddy pauses for effect and says, "Closer than you may think," which I think would be indicative of a Friday appearance for DJ, but just reading between the lines.
Yeah, DJ might actually be in the air as we speak right now after playing the extended spring games.
2-1. That's outside. 3-1 on McCutchen.
No, it's 3-2, isn't it?
It is 3-2. The scoreboard is wrong. And that is poked to right. Cargo's going to try to hold McCutchen to a single, and he's not going to be able to. So it's a double down the right field line with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Brandon Belt.
That was a poke single. 4-seamer on the Subaru Supermo. That's a good pitch.
Really good pitch.
You know, sometimes you got to tip your cap to the hitter, and I think John would do that on this one because that was where he wanted to put it. McCutchen just poked it to right for a double.
You can find numbers that'll support whatever your argument is now in baseball with the great number of statistics and the new metrics, etc. But my point here in this statement is that John Gray, if you look at his batted balls in play, has been unlucky also.
Yes. Well, his BABIP, I think in the first inning too, is close to 500 or right at 500.
And major league average is 300. And the last outing you were talking about, he got nickel and dime in the first inning against Cincinnati. Bleeder and a bloop, that type of thing. 2 outs, McCutchen at second. The dangerous Brandon Belt at the plate. Having an all-star-like first half. Marvin Hudson didn't buy that. It's 2-1. It's off the plate. Belt's hitting 15 out of his last 16. 391 during that period of time, including 5 jacks. Two and 2.
Part of the issue for Bell has been his health at different times. Concussion, he had wrist. Just never been able to stay healthy. Seemed like for 162.
Nolan leading the league in slugging percentage, and there's Bell third. You're right. He's always battled something. This is popped up and out of play. Belt last year played 104 games. 2 years ago he was healthy. He played 156, 17 home runs, 82 driven in. The year before 137. The year prior 61 games.
Never hit more than 18 home runs in his.
Which is really surprising for me. I know it's a hard ballpark to hit in, especially hit the long ball. But he's got a lot of juice in the bat. Big, strong guy. Product of the University of Texas.
Kind of laughing to imagine him with an aluminum bat. Get some of those college pitchers.
No.
Yikes.
And how'd you like to play first base if he had an aluminum bat in his hand?
No.
3-2. Well, there'll be a 26th pitch here in the first inning. I think one of the things you see with John's fastball, he ended up getting a strikeout on Gorky's Hernandez. Good fastball, but he doesn't get a lot of swings and misses with it.
No, and in this year too, opponent's hitting .333 against his fastball. You know, still 95, 96 miles an hour, and this year the major league average for fastball is 92.6 miles an hour. So you get 3 or 4 miles above that, but just doesn't sometimes have that late movement.
Belt, like Hernandez, kind of battling away. You know, by contrast, Kyle Freeland, his fastball averages a little over 91, but the league's hitting only .202 against it. So it's not all about just raw velocity. And this is pulled to Desmond. He's got it, and a lob to John Gray. And John is through the first inning. There was a 2-out double by McCutcheon. See the Rockies on offense when we come back to Coors Field. Last year they played 19 times. The Rockies won 12. They've won 12 out of 13 here at Coors Field against San Francisco. Their greatest period of dominance at home ever against the Giants. Here's the Southwest batting order. It will begin with Charlie Blackmon, and then Noel Cuevas. He'll bat second. Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Carlos Gonzalez in the middle. Desmond, Castro, Walters, and Gray against the veteran left-hander, the longtime Texas Ranger, Derek Holland. His first pitch is in there for a strike. Won't overpower you with stuff, but he's going to mix in 4 pitches.
Well, and that's what the Rockies saw 2 starts ago from Holland in his appearance out at AT&T. Doing 6 on the year.
And that is toward the gap in left center field, cut off by Williamson, and it'll hold Charlie to a single, but Charlie's starting to find the barrel with consistency, just like everybody else in that lineup of late. It's now an 8-game hitting streak for Chuck Nasty.
Well, left-handers have been hitting 133 off of Holland on the Subaru Supremo. This goes right off the edge of the glove of Brandon Crawford. Watch this, folks. Just got enough of it to possibly slow it down to keep it from going into the gap and being a leadoff double.
Cuevas had a start last week against Holland, went 0 for 3. Rockies beat Derek Holland in San Francisco. He gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. The big blow, of course, was Ian Desmond's 3-run home run against him.
You wonder if Holland has any memories. I'm sure he does, of his lone start here at Coors Field when he was with the White Sox last year.
That's a base hit through the right side. Charlie will shut it down at second. And Cuevas continues to spray the baseball line to line. And we just had a lot of fun watching him play.
It's been a blast, hasn't it? You know, as somebody's coming up making their major league debut, now they're saying, you know what? I'm just not here. I'm contributing. I feel like I belong. I think he was trying to shoot that hole the whole time.
Huey, you know this to be true. All your years in the big leagues, when you're a coach, you look at, and you were a coach for a while also, you look at a player and you say, okay, I can see talent, I can see things he can do, but how is he going to handle the big stage for the first time? He's handling it's not, he's not overwhelmed by it.
No, we always say, what's going to happen when the big lights come on? Or they put the third deck up.
Yep.
You know, what's the guy going to do then? Because, you know, those single decks in AA, even AAA, they don't phase a lot of guys, but then when you put another couple on, it's like, oh, a whole different animal.
0-1 on Nolan, who's a whole different animal. And that's a called strike also. Nolan is 10 for 26 this year against the Giants. And what's interesting, here we go with the jinx, okay, which we don't buy into, but you can make note of this, folks. Nolan has not struck out yet against the San Francisco Giants, and he has just killed them the last several years. Trying to do some early damage here. Inside 1 and 2. Batting average at .321, 6th best in the league. As we showed you a few minutes ago, he's leading the National League in slugging percentage.
.390 with wrist. I mean, we could go on and on about the glowing numbers for Nolan.
Good speed on base with Charlie and Noel Cuevas. This ball hit high in deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. That's a nice start.
Two nights ago, who had a 3-run home run? Trevor Story. Tonight, it's Nolan's turn. Behind in the count 1-2. We were talking about not striking out. I was talking about .390 with runners in scoring position. Well, that makes 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. He got a belt-high pitch on the Subaru Supermo. And everybody's flinching. Buster Posey said, "Oh, seen that before." They're calling the same thing on the hill.
447 feet. Who doesn't love a 3-run jack other than Derek Holland?
That's okay. He's on the opposing team.
That's right. You mentioned Trevor Story, and we've talked about this lineup the last couple of nights. You know who's going to start getting better pitches, and it's already begun? That guy with the big grin on his face.
That's right. You know, they got to wait for the fountains to go off before they can continue play here.
I think Jenny's controlling them. She fired up the fountains and forgot to turn them off. Now somebody.
There we go.
The water bill just went up. And
that's okay.
That's yep. Dick Manfred said that's okay.
That's all right. I don't mind.
No.
Well, another good sign. Rockies are 21-5 when they score first.
Single, 3-run jack. Here's the 1-1 to us. And they still haven't gotten it out. That's ripped to left field by Story. Now here's some of the finer numbers on that home run that Nolan hit.
Yeah, brought to you by our Subaru Statcast. You mentioned the distance, Drew, 447 feet, the launch angle. I'd go ahead and round up at 105 on the exit velocity.
You're allowed.
And then you've got to, it's got to be a little bit in the mind of the Giants right now. I mean, they've lost 12 of the last 13 here at Coors Field. Lost 9 out of the last 12 games overall, and they're behind early tonight after what happened last night.
And Huey, they've been a bad road team. They're 11-20 out on the road so far.
Yeah, it's a .355 win percentage.
This is Cargo facing Holland for the first time in his career.
When I was,
Takes ball one.
you know, before all the hits and everything, I was trying to say, you know, Holland's got to have a little bit of a flashback from his start when he was with the White Sox last July here at Coors Field, when he only lasted 4 innings and gave up 7 hits, 7 runs.
That's a fair ball, and or is it?
Actually, it's not. Well, I guess it is, but it's not the first base umpire's call. It's a home plate umpire's call until the ball gets past first base.
Yeah, it was interesting because the first base umpire, James Hoy, indicated fair, and I don't know if Marvin Hudson. I wasn't looking at Marvin, so let's see. We'll see it on this replay. Marvin goes out there.
He never made a call.
Yeah, he didn't make a call.
So where he catches the ball is in front of first base, so it's technically not the first base umpire's call. It's the home plate umpire's call. He didn't do anything.
Now goes to the double play. 3-6-3. Desmond at the plate. And Desmond hit a 3-run home run of his own against Derek Holland. Desi back-to-back multi-hit games. Second time this year.
4 for 8 in this series.
2 for 3 last week against Holland with that home run. Look at it.
Yikes.
One and 2 on Desmond. Rockies have 3 across here in the bottom of the first.
Close one on the Subaru strike zone, but Desi tracking that the entire way.
Two, and that was in. 3 and 2.
And you're right, Jerry. You're talking about the shadows with the pitcher and the sun. Not an issue while the Rockies are hitting. Derek Holland is in the.
No, it worked out nicely.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Desi with a base hit to the left side. This is a situation where you could see Desi go first move on Holland. See Desi very aggressive. 2 outs.
Well, and they just saw him 8 days ago, 10 days ago. So that's always helpful as a base stealer when you know what a guy's move to first is, what he looks like going home.
Well, you're not going to go on that. A slide step from the left side.
He's not going to go on that. And the other thing too for Ian is he was still putting his batting gloves on, his running batting gloves. Okay,
which would make him his running gloves.
Yeah, so his running gloves, not his running batting gloves.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Castro takes high, 2-0.
Some people might be saying, well, why does he have 2 separate sets of gloves? Because 1, you have pine tar all over the gloves.
And 2, he's a big leaguer.
And he can afford a second pair.
Right?
Right. Johnny at home, no, you get your 1 pair.
You know, it's funny because I was working with Gabe today in the cage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't you putting the Velcro on the batting gloves. Kind of had him as like, who knows? Is that a thing, right? Because they don't stick. They don't stick anymore. So, I'm gonna, in between innings, I'm gonna go order a couple pair.
Crack open the wallet,
right,
Dad.
Exactly. I told him, you gotta let me know. Fouled off, 2-1. I may have to hit the Houston household.
Yeah,
Do you have any left from your stash?
Oh, heck yeah. I don't know if they've disintegrated by now, but
they're not modern.
No, of course not.
Desi got picked off. And they'll get him at second base. He got frozen on that leg lift by Holland. That'll end the inning. Castro will lead things off in the second. But the Rockies were rather productive. With 2 men aboard, Nolan Arenado almost hit one to Philly.
Today before the game started, Haley Dawson, who was born with Poland syndrome, which causes a kid to be missing fingers. So she's missing 3 fingers on her right hand. She uses a 3D printed hand constructed by UNLV engineers to throw a baseball. So in Las Vegas, she met Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper helped her get an opportunity to throw a first pitch against the Washington Nationals. After throwing a first pitch with the Washington Nationals, she said she wanted to throw a pitch at all 30 stadiums. She's now at 9, and she has a unique hand for every single stadium she goes to of all different teams. It's really a great story.
That's an awesome story. That's tremendous. Spilly, how many teams, how many stadiums did you say? 9 now?
She's done 9, and she's expecting to get to all 30.
Yeah, this weekend they're going to Seattle for the 10th.
That's great stuff. Evan Longoria at the plate. He's got a 2-1 count. Longoria, a couple of solo home runs last night. His 9th and 10th of the year. First season with the San Francisco Giants after so many productive years in Tampa.
Just a difference for Longoria to play in front of 35, 40 plus thousand a night in San Francisco compared to 10,000 a night in Tampa.
And even much like that pitch off the plate, thing looked like it cut that fastball. And that's strikeout number 3 for Big John already. And that'll bring up Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, 2 now by the fastball of John. Subaru Supermo, that was good 4 or 5 inches off the plate. Got Longoria to chase.
Crawford was 0 for 4 yesterday. That's the first time in 3 weeks, Huey. 3 weeks. that had an 0 for 4. And slice foul.
Well, if you're hitting .412 for the month of May, you're not going to have many days that you don't get a hit.
Well, it looks like it'll come down to Brandon Crawford or Scooter Jeanette for the player of the month. Unless I'm leaving somebody out.
Not in my book. It's because we've seen those two guys most. Scooter most recently.
And by the way, the Reds came from behind today down in Phoenix and won 7-4. And that's a base hit. So with one out, Crawford is aboard, and Scooter had some ribbies today. He took over the National League lead in that department.
Well, For the Win is brought to you by our good folks at Pizza Ranch. And for John, keep calm and win at home. That's what he's done at Coors Field this year. Last year, he was 5-1 with a 3.13 ERA, and for his career in 33 games, 15-7. So a 682 win percentage. So he knows what he's doing here. Get back on track, win the game here tonight. The other thing it would do too, it would bring the team record when John pitches back to 500, because he's the only starter right now that the team has a losing record when he's out there. The team's 5-6.
Yeah, a little surprising, but he's the only one. Just shows you the consistency of that Rockies rotation, giving you a chance to win every time out. 0-2 on Mac Williamson.
See if they challenge him back upstairs. He was late on the first two swings up by the letters. Not sure that one was by design, but that was the area that they attacked Mac. First two pitches. I think Tony wanted that one away.
This is near the Rockies dugout and over the other side, so no play for Desmond. One out, Crawford at first. Rockies leading 3-0 on an Arenado 3-run homer in the first. Tell you what, Derek Holland, he was fortunate to get out of that first, only giving up 3, because the Rockies had 5 hits. Story had a hit and Desmond had a hit. Cargo thought he hit the ball foul and it turned into a 3-6-3 double play. Otherwise, Rockies may still be up at the plate. 1-2. This is a looper and it's going to drop, and Crawford got a good read. That's kind of been typical of Gray's outings.
I think John's mad at himself on this one.
Got to get it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's why he's mad. He's ahead in the count. You had blown 2 fastballs by Mac Williamson. Tony wanted it away. Where does it end up? It ends up middle in. Ball middle in. If you just pull the hands in, you can fight it off enough. And there, that's what Mac did on the Subaru Supermo, just fought it off to bloop it into right field.
Sandoval, and he takes a strike. I see Pablo off the bench twice in this series. Both times he's delivered hits. Kelby Tomlinson had a rough game defensively yesterday, and I think coupled with how Sandoval swung the bat, Bochy put him in the lineup at second base. Did it the other day. Good. Well, it got away from Tony. It's going to cost the Rockies a run. Tony's so good at blocking pitches, and that one kicked away enough, and Crawford scores. It's 3-1 on the wild pitch.
Well, Crawford, he's able to get down the line pretty far because Nolan was moved over into that 5-6 hole, and that skips off the plate, so it's going to go a little bit harder, a little bit faster. But see how far Nolan's off? That allows Crawford to get so far down the line that he just is able to go and make it easily. You know, Tony kind of pulled his glove up too. That's why it went off the edge of the
middle infield instinct.
Yeah,
still
it just still kind of gave with it instead of just holding it there and just blocking it down.
John will summon Tony to the mound.
I think this is just a reminder of what sign they're going with.
And Huey, Buddy talked a lot about these situations in pregame today, and what we mean by that is slowing the game down. And Buddy made a football analogy. He said, give him a field goal, don't give him a touchdown. They got to run right now.
Bend but don't break.
Yeah, all of those cliches.
But I think it fits for John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. And you know, this is a moment.
Back up the middle, on through, and that's going to bring home another run. So Sandoval 3 for 3 in the series. That's his 15th RBI. And the Giants, who were struggling in the bottom of the first, now have new life. They're within a run as the pitcher Holland comes up.
Well, you had the bloop single by Williamson on a 1-2 pitch, was aided by the wild pitch to get to second base to allow him to score on this base hit by Pablo Sandoval. All of his RBIs for Pablo have come while he's been hitting left-handed.
I wonder if that left shoulder that he hurt a while back affects him on the right side.
I think it might. He's hitting 125 right-handed. Not many at bats though. Just 16 hitting right-handed.
2 strikes as Holland swung away there. By the way, I want to correct something. I said Scooter Jeanette's not leading the league right now in RBI. Scooter actually was just 0 for 1 today. Didn't start. We were talking about Suarez.
Oh yeah.
Eugenio Suarez having a great year, but Scooter Jeanette has been unbelievable in May, just like Crawford. Here's the 0-2 to Holland, and now he's done. 2 outs. Strikeout number 4, and that'll bring up Gorkys Hernandez. Fans, join in on the conversation tonight. Send us your comments, questions. Use Twitter or, well, you got to use Twitter. I always say or, but you can't anymore. Just Twitter.
Just Twitter.
Just Twitter. That's it. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. You know what day today is?
Could be a million things, but go ahead and tell me what you're thinking.
It's Wednesday.
After yesterday, you didn't know it was Tuesday.
No, and honestly, I was walking down the hall today, and I had to think for a second what day it was. That happens during the baseball season.
Yes, it does.
There's the 1-0. That's up top, 2-0. A lot of pitches also for John here in the first 2 innings. I mean, next pitch is 49.
Well, it's a 26 pitch first inning. 27. You got to add 1. The 26 plus 1. 27 pitches that first inning.
John typically against the NL West at home just outstanding. 14 starts in his career, 3.42 ERA, and this is a ground ball to Castro. That'll end the inning, but there were 2 runs on 3 hits. There was also a wild pitch, so the Rockies lead is down to a single run. as they've been doing lately. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies Taco Special Live Moss at Taco Bell with Jeff Hewson and Ryan Spilborghs, sort of. I'm Drew Goodman. Daniel Castro back at the plate against Derek Holland. He was at the plate when Ian Desmond was picked off last inning. Castro, Walters, and Gray against Holland. And that's another hit. Daniel Castro. Spilly, how the dogs coming?
So the dogs turned out great. And what was interesting about the dogs tonight was that I cooked the first couple. And if someone ends up getting food poisoning, I didn't do it. Hucks did it behind the camera. But a lot of people tonight with the hot dogs, they were putting pineapple on top of it. I've never had pineapple on a hot dog before.
That's
on
gross.
a hot dog sandwich. It was awesome.
It was good?
Awesome. You stop it. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Check it out. Grilled pineapple on a hot dog. Are you gonna put pineapple on your hot dog?
Probably not.
You gotta live a little. One time.
Maybe.
You gotta try it.
Hey,
Trust me.
It's like on a pizza, right?
Hey, Spilly, is
No ketchup on pineapple. You crazy?
can you find out, is this how the Casey rolls every night? I mean, it's Wednesday night. That's a pretty good party going.
Is this what it's like every night on Wednesday? Yeah, every night. Every Wednesday it's a party.
Spilly.
Can I come here more often? See, there you go. All right, I'll be here every Wednesday.
Spilly, we may have to all go in on a little apartment over there, huh?
Yeah, so they have 2 and studios available. They're 97% occupied, so.
Well, that's 3% for us.
Yeah, they might have a place for us.
There you go.
You never know.
This is bounce to second. Tony's got to get up the line. Pablo with kind of a high feed, and maybe there's where some of the inexperience comes out.
Right.
Was Crawford on the bag?
I don't know. That's what I kind of wait and look for a moment. But you're right, the inexperience from Pablo, just his second game starting at the big league level. Gonna bring him off the field, but throw led Brandon Crawford high. Was able to drag his right foot across the bag, kind of get blocked on that view, but not able to turn the double play.
So Walters at first, Gray at the plate. I asked Pablo before the game today, I said, have you ever played second? He said, never, ever, until the other day. This is his second game at second base. He made a nice diving play.
He did in the game against the Cubs. Yeah, it was to his left, kind of smothered it, knocked it down, got the runner at first.
And good bunt by John. Belt will have to feed Sandoval. Got there in time. Kung Fu Panda, not exactly the normal body type, shall we say, that you see at second base.
No, but that's also the little plays that you got to remind yourself when you're not playing a position you're comfortable with.
I asked him what he was concerned most about, and he didn't hesitate. He said relays and cuts. Relays and cuts.
Well, because if you're playing third like he has the majority of his career, the only time you have to worry about that is to home. Base hit to left. The rest of the time you're just sitting there waiting for the ball to come to you.
See if the Rockies can steal a 2-out run here. Up 3-2. Charlie a sharp single in the bottom of the first. And a ground ball toward the middle of the line, on through. Here comes Tony around third, and the Rockies have a 4-2 lead. For Charlie Blackmon, his 26th RBI. And I don't know if a Kelby Tomlinson or a Joe Panic would get to that. But for Pablo, he's not going to have the range to even come close to getting to that baseball up the middle.
Well, no, and Joe Panic a couple of years ago won a Gold Glove. So you're trying to replace somebody that's won a Gold Glove at that position with somebody that's just making a second start. Pablo's credit, he lays out, he tries to dive for it, just couldn't get it. And I'm with you, Drew. I'm not sure he was going to be able to get to it anyway on the Subaru Supermo, or anybody else, I should say.
That's down low on Cuevas. He bounced one through the right side and would score a run last inning.
But no matter, the Rockies got one of those runs back.
That was big.
That's the big point in all of this.
Here's the 1-0 to Cuevas. And this ball is in the air to left field. Williamson is there, will make the catch, inning over. But the Rockies do get a run on the 2-out knock by Blackman. We'll go to the third. Colorado 4 and the Giants 2 at Coors Field. The AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Spilly made cupcakes, didn't he? John Gray's first pitch of the third inning is in there for strike one on Buster Posey. It's Posey, Andrew McCutchen, and Brandon Belt with the Rockies ahead 4-2. And a curveball, which is the pitch John used to fan Posey in the first, is fouled off. So John's ahead 0-2 very quickly. And that's rolled towards short. Spinning, throwing, and getting Posey by 3 steps is that rather smooth shortstop of the Rockies, Trevor Story. He made that thing look routine.
Always makes it look easy, doesn't he? Said it before, but it bears repeating. When you make a spin move like this, sometimes when you spin and come around, it's a little difficult to pick up the first baseman. I know first isn't moving, but when you spin, your head doesn't get whipped around. But he made that throw right on the money.
He's pretty good.
He's real good. Body's under control.
That pitch just missed. Ball one on Andrew McCutchen. He poked a double down the right field line on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. All right, so I got a little more on that story that I like to tell. I told McCutchen this today. I said, you know, I break that story out once a year, and I said Jeff Houston loves it when he led Polk County as an eighth grader in hitting. Yeah. Now Andrew said he was about the same size, not nearly as strong obviously, but height wise he grew early. So in 8th grade he gets invited to the high school tryouts, and there was two. There was the varsity side field, and there was the JV field. He instinctively, now he's 8th grader.
He going to the JV?
He went to the JV side. The head varsity coach said, no, you come over here. They had known about him.
Okay.
Fast forward, he leads the entire county in hitting as an 8th grader on varsity. And I said, you know, that's ridiculous. I said, 3-1, he stepped out. Was time granted? He
must have been.
It must have been, because it would have been ball 4. Anyhow, I said, well, did you ever repeat that? He said, yeah, I repeated the next year. He was
and as a freshman.
As a freshman, he also led the county in hitting 3 and 2.
So I'm guessing the reason he didn't lead it maybe his junior and senior year is he just didn't pitch to him.
Probably part of it. Now, he also pitched in high school, and I said, what were you on the mound? And that's going to be another hit for McCutcheon. He was 90 to 93 on the mound, and he had signed a national letter of intent to go to the University of Florida, but that was never going to happen because he went very high in the draft. And I said, did anybody look at you as a pitcher? He said, no, I ran too well.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste that speed on the hill.
Yeah, and I said, what was your best 60 time? And he said, well, I ran a bunch of 6.4s, which, folks, is ridiculously fast, 6.4. And he said, I told my dad, so I was going to another pro workout, and he said, I'm going to do a lot better than that today. And his dad said, yeah, I'll believe that when I see that. He ran a 6.2 something that day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, so he's one of those kids, because we've mentioned it before, where you watch the kid and go, wait, you know what? I never really thought he'd be a big leaguer. But everybody thought
said
he would be.
Andrew's going to be a big leaguer.
Yeah.
I started saying that when he was in middle school.
I love that story. I never get tired of hearing you tell that story.
And I told him that today. I said, Jeff Houston loves that story. Led the whole county. He's in 8th grade.
Can you imagine the seniors on the team? Come on, this guy, he shouldn't be on our team. Oh, wait, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, snap throw. Do you know what? That lasted for about 2.5 weeks. And then when he was probably hitting 3rd.
And helping him win.
Yeah. I forgot about the fact that he was 5 years younger than everybody else.
He was still in his 8th grade English class.
Right. That misses. He had to miss practice one day. He had moving up day. We have a bunch of principals in here tonight from Arapahoe.
I know, we better be on.
What do they call it again when you move up from 8th grade? Continuation. I couldn't think of that word. It's a business that every once in a while the vocabulary escapes me. Continuation. Two balls and a strike on Brandon Belt. Rocky shift with Belt, so Story's on the right side, along with Castro and obviously Desmond. And that breaking ball just missed on the Subaru strike zone, so it's 3-1. Rocky's leading 4-2.
Did they put Andrew in motion early in the game, just down by 2 in the 3rd? Nope.
Popped up and a long run for Nolan. So the closest man was Walters, and that is really tough for a catcher. And he had to run 75, 80 feet.
I think the closest catchers ever think they're going to have to, or the furthest they're going to ever have to go away is by the on-deck circle. You're not thinking you're running down towards the end of the opposition dugout to try and make this play in shin guards, in a chest protector, and he lays out for that play. Gallant effort from Tony.
Now a full count on Belt. See if McCutcheon goes here. Yep, he takes off, and it'll keep him out of a double play. Castro makes a really fine play. That was not easy. And they get the out at first on Belt, so 2 gone.
It would have probably been an easier play for Trevor to make it, but with the shift, he's thinking, I've got to go to second base. But watch Castro's arm kind of get tucked underneath him when he makes his slide. His wrist gets bent in an awkward position on the Subaru Supermo and then comes up and has to throw from his knee.
He's been very steady defensively. So Evan Longoria, he struck out on a fastball off the plate his first time against Gray. A little 5-game hitting streak going, longest of the season for Longoria, and that's strike one. This is again one of those situations early in this baseball game for John where he's got to win the battle. Keep San Francisco from getting a 2-out run here. Breaking ball, and he's ahead 0-2.
I think that's a smart pitch too. It struck him out with the fastball, but when you get in trouble, sometimes power pitchers especially want to go harder with their power. So John backed off it with the curveball.
0-2. And he got him on a slider. Best of the night for Gray. Big strikeout. His 5th of the ball game, and they strand McCutchen at second. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Rockies at Coors Field leading the Giants 4-2. A lot of sights from across the railroad tracks to Coors Field because as Nolan fouls that first pitch off, Spilly's over to Casey, whining and dining people. We'll check in with him periodically. Those folks have fun.
That's a good gig tonight, though.
Yeah, that's a great gig.
He's over there flipping some hot dogs and having a few snacks.
A few snacks?
He's on the dessert already.
I'm stuffed.
I was
Check out
trying
these
to
cute little hats.
I was trying to be nice to you in case Stacy was watching.
No, I'm having watermelon in a cute Rockies hat. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah,
In your Brockmeyer jacket.
It doesn't get better than that.
That's right.
That is
I
your
might go full Brockmeyer in the 6th inning.
Just don't go Brockmeyer language, okay?
Yeah. No, we won't. Everybody, consume. Consume, everybody.
Do they even know you? Do they even know you're there?
They're not even listening to you.
No, I'll text them.
Exactly. Here's Story, and Trevor fouls this one off. Oh boy, he may get permanently banned from there. Now Spill makes friends wherever he goes.
Does. Hi.
Yeah, great. See that guy? As soon as you put that thing down, he grabbed his beer. He was worried.
Why would he be worried? I'm going to text him right now. We're going to have a conversation. No, he's not in on my joke.
Yeah, he's not picking up on it. That's inside on Story, 1-1.
All tonight.
The Life of Spilly. Catch it on Netflix Wednesday nights.
Oh, that'd be a great show.
Did I get him? No.
No.
2-1.
He's the executive producer on that show.
You're volunteering? You want to be the executive producer on that show?
Yeah.
Be fun. Three and one. You'd be a little crazy at times.
At times.
All the time.
Yes.
Rocky's trying to go to 5-1 on this homestand. One out. Here's the 3-1 on Story, and the off speed's in there for a strike. 3-2. Story was asked the other day if he likes hitting cleanup, and Trevor's a very, kind of soft-spoken, very humble kid, and his eyes lit up. He said, "I love it." And look at this. This is ricocheted to third, and they're going to get him at first. That's off of Holland, and Story loses a base hit.
Well, last night, Derek Rodriguez had to come out of the ball game after being hit on the leg. This time it just went right to Evan Longoria. So yeah, you see it there, 153 on the put out, but that doesn't do that justice as hard as that ball was hit.
So with 2 outs and nobody on, Cargo will come up. 3 in the first for the Rockies, another run in the second. Cargo thought he hit a foul ball his first time. It was right along the line. It was called fair, and it turned into a 3-6-3 double play. And Cargo hits this ball in the air to center field. He just missed it. And going back and making the catch is Hernandez. So the Rockies go quietly in the third. They'll go to the fourth with a 4-2 advantage. Challenge question. Go to AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to cast your vote. We'll get to those later on. May 28, 2006, Barry Bonds passed Babe Ruth on the all-time home run list. Who would you rather have dinner with? A different type question. Babe Ruth or Barry Bonds? And here's number 715. I remember it. We were behind the microphone. Spilly was in center field, and BK served it up, but there were a lot of other guys that served up home runs as well to Barry. That ball is hooked foul by Brandon Crawford, He singled and scored in the second. Spilly, what do you remember about that home run and that particular ball game?
I remember I was really excited because there was an opportunity if I got that baseball that I was going to give it back to Barry Bonds, and in return I was hoping for a bat. You always got to get something in return.
You wouldn't ask for something a little bit more significant than the bat?
What else could I ask for? I didn't know what else I could ask.
No, not the bat, but you wouldn't have gotten the bat, but a bat.
Yeah, just a bat with his name on it.
Did you ever?
I would have been totally okay with that.
I've never asked you this because a lot of players, I think Huey did this a little bit, get jerseys from stars around the league and have them autographed. And I'm pretty sure, Huey, I know you have some up at the house.
Yeah, I do, and I have some in storage that are locked up. And but no jerseys. I got bats and baseballs.
Okay.
I really didn't.
You
ask
have your
for
own.
jerseys.
You know what? I'm confused. You have your own jerseys from all the teams you play on. But Spilly, did you collect any memorabilia?
I collect baseballs, and I have in my office at home. I have probably over 100 baseballs, and I try to collect all the 500 home run members. So I have 500 home run members. Pretty much everybody, including guys from overseas.
You got Sadaharo. This is to deep right, and Cargo's going to have to play it off the base of the wall, and Williamson has a one-out double. Well, every inning now, the Giants have had a runner to second base.
Well, last night for the Giants, they were just 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Well, Mac Williamson has hit 2 mistakes tonight. Third double this season for Mac.
Billy, pay attention to this next number I run at you guys.
Okay.
Kung Fu Panda's Pablo Sandoval, second career start at second base. He had the other one just a couple of days ago in Chicago. And you know there's a stat for everything. Well, according to Stats Inc. Here's the 1-0. Give it to you after this. That misses 2-0. He's the heaviest second baseman ever. He's listed at 255 pounds.
He must have had some of my sandwiches I made tonight.
Yes. The 2 previous second basemen that played in that weight neighborhood, and I'm shocked by this, Dave Parker played there and Cecil Fielder played there at some point. 3-0.
Big
Cecil
Daddy,
Fielder
Cecil
played
Fielder?
second? Yeah, I'm with you.
How about Dave Parker?
Wow. Dave Parker had a big earring too, added to his weight.
Dave Parker was 6'5" and at least 250. One of the best arms in Major League history, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Sandoval goes down. There's a force all the way around with Holland coming up, but you know he's going to be bunting. And Buddy Black is coming out, not to take the baseball, obviously. He's coming out to chat.
Oh, we have a moment while they discuss what's going on the field. I can tell you that Coors Field has something for everyone and every budget. Go to Rockies.com/suites for more information on individual game day suites and party facilities.
Yeah, according to Baseball Reference, Cecil Fielder played second base for 5 1/3 innings. You played against
well, I saw him hit a home run out of the stadium in Old Tiger Stadium to left field, not right field like you know some of the guys do. Left field.
He went left field, huh?
Left field, gone
over the roof.
Hit on the roof and rolled up over the other side. Gone.
Parker, he was there for just 1/3 of an inning.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. But even 1/3 of an inning.
Holland struck out trying to bunt in the second inning. Oh and 1. Before the game, you and I were talking about hitting machines and whether or not you utilize them. A lot of guys don't like pitching machines because There's no real timing mechanism, but they're extremely useful to bunt against. And you used to do that, right?
Yeah, once the season started, yeah, absolutely. You would use the machine to bunt against.
That's a pretty good bunt. Can Gray get the force? He's not going to get anybody. Had he gotten the ball out of the glove, he had Nolan at third. He would have gotten Williamson. And I don't know if it rolled up his, his arm a little bit. It's hard to tell, but he got off the mound quickly. He had Williamson at third.
Let's see if he goes into his glove and then doesn't grab the ball, whereas his hand is kind of holding on to the ball and pinning it against his glove. This will give us a good look on the Subaru Supermo. Yeah, that's what happened. It never went in the glove, so he pinned it against the side of his glove. So not able to get the lead runner, and by the time he spun around, he couldn't even get the pitcher in Holland.
So Holland gets credit for sacrifice, fielder's choice, and now the bases are loaded. Rocky's up by 2. That's in jeopardy with Hernandez at the plate and Posey on deck. Seems every outing, just the little things have victimized John Gray. And he has a very high pitch count here in the 4th inning. His next pitch is number 80. And the Rockies are going to get some action going.
It's going to be Harrison Musgrave.
Harrison a couple days ago, a terrific 2-inning stint. 6 up, 6 set down. Hopefully John can work out of this himself. He's gotten Hernandez twice. Strikeout, ground out. Way inside. 2-1. Hits allowed in the National League right now, and you wouldn't expect John to be on this list. The stuff is too good.
And Homer Bailey just got moved to the bullpen for Cincinnati.
He's had a rough May. Ty Block we saw out of the bullpen for the Giants yesterday. 2-2. I hope to break off another good slider like he just threw.
Yeah, don't try to overthrow. Don't try to make this one even better than the last one, because that's when guys have the tendency to hang him. So just use the same motion on this pitch.
Two.
Got it.
Right at the bottom of the zone. Oh, he's well located, but Marvin Hudson did not give it to him.
Yeah, it's pitch number 5 on the Subaru strike zone.
Borderline pitch. Now it's 3-2. And he lost him. Just walked in a run. 4-3. So John, who rarely walks people, has walked 2 in the inning.
He had only 16 walks and 61 2/3 coming into tonight. Now you got the ever dangerous Buster Posey.
He's gotten Buster twice. Let's see if he can get Buster to hit it on the ground at somebody. Strong likelihood it'll be a double play. 0-1. Posey 2 for 9 lifetime. with 3 strikeouts against John Gray. Rockies had a 3-0 lead. It's now a 4-3 affair with the bases loaded and 1 out. Two and one.
It's hard to get a guy like Buster.
He's not going to. No, he's not going to chase. Gorky Hernandez, if you remember when it was 2-2 and you looked at the Subaru strike zone, John really hadn't thrown a pitch in the strike zone. But he was at 2-2 because Hernandez was expanding. Buster Posey, as you said, he's not going to expand. 3-1. Okay, John has got to find a way out of this, or it's going to be a really short night. Look at that. He spins one for strike 2, 3-2.
Buster did not think that was coming.
No.
There was nothing in his mind told him there was going to be a slider.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes here. He may go slider again. Strikeout against Posey with a slider, and he got a weak ground ball his last time up. 3-2. And he lost him. He just walked in another run. And it's tied at 4, and that'll be all for Gray. That's a very disappointing outing for John again. Stake to an early 3-0 lead. And it's now a 4-4 game as he goes just 3 1/3. That is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Bonfils Blood Center. It takes all types to save lives. Give blood. Well, the Rockies had a 3-0 lead, and the Giants have caught them. It's 4-4. Back-to-back bases loaded walks allowed by John Gray. And now the Rockies are into the bullpen very early as Harrison Musgrave's been called upon. And they'll have to face Andrew McCutchen, who's 2 for 2.
Well, that was the shortest outing for John since he went a mere 2 innings July of last year against the New York Mets.
Or the playoff game.
Or the play, yeah, I wasn't counting the playoff game, but during the regular season.
John still has not beaten the Giants in his young career.
Well, this was his first start against the Giants at Coors Field. The other 4 starts had come at AT&T.
Strike one on McCutcheon, and kind of looks back at Marvin Hudson as if to say, wasn't that in?
A little different arm action from Harrison than you're going to get from John. Going to hide the ball over short armor.
Line drive, dropped, which may pay off. It will. How about that?
All right, take him any way you can get him.
6-4-3 as Story dropped the line drive. And I don't think this was a wink-wink. Maybe it came out of the glove. 4-4 ball game.
Ticket package includes a limited edition Margaritaville shirt. Visit Rockies.com/Margaritaville for tickets. And I know there might be a few margaritas over there with Spilly across the street at the Casey. Am I right, Spilly, or is it just straight? I mean, I know you're just having water.
Yeah, no, I'm having water. It is mostly adult beverages, no margaritas tonight.
Okay.
Why do people wave at the camera? I'm still trying to figure that out. Why is that a natural reaction?
That's a great question.
We'll do a little, do a little poll. Do a live poll. Ian Desmond's going to lead it off for the Rockies in the bottom of the 4th. They have to crank that offense up, which has been so good the last few days. Averaging 7 runs a game on this homestand, in which the Rockies have won 4 out of 5. Who would have thought that Derek Holland would still be out there and not John Gray the way this game began?
And not me. I mean, Derek Holland gave him 5 hits in the first, 2 in the second, giving up 4 runs. Last inning, he was aided by that 1-5-3 put out off his foot.
That's a line shot right at Longoria. 1 out. I'll bring up Castro, who lined a single to left his first time. Now, for John, get to work again in the lab, try to figure it out. I don't know if it's mechanical, if there's some stuff going on upstairs. It's always difficult at this level to figure out exactly what the issue is with somebody as talented as Gray. But his last 4 ball games, Huey, 18 in the 3rd innings, he's given up 19 runs, 31 hits. With his stuff, that's
too high.
Yeah, it's alarmingly high. The opposition's hit 356 against him.
Well, and a lot of pitches too.
There's another base hit for Castro. It's 2 for 2. And John, who doesn't walk people, walked 3 in that last inning and 2 with the bases loaded.
And you wonder if the 2 walks had happened after he didn't make the play on Holland, if that rattled. Well, whatever the case is, you're going to need to get him right.
Have to.
That's where I think that collectively it's so wonderful that you have Darren Holmes, Steve Foster, Bud Black, guys that have been in that situation before, be able to figure it out.
Tony Walters takes a strike. .22 starts behind the plate. This is the 23rd for Tony. The Rockies are 15-7 in his starts. Tony was a middle infielder growing up in suburban San Diego. Great player. At the Aflac All-American game, he was the MVP. The game was played at Petco Park. And in that game, among others, was one Bryce Harper.
Yet he carried home the hardware.
Got the big trophy. Tony's last start was Sunday against the Reds. He threw out a couple of hits, also had a walk. And this is where he's really helped himself. That great eye. Tony.
Strike zone.
Yeah, good strike zone discipline. He's been finding his way on. That's why he does a good job, in particular, hitting in front of the pitcher, getting that lineup flipped over.
Not an easy place to hit. The 8th spot in the National League.
Crawford will grab this one for the second out, and that'll bring up Harrison Musgrave. This is the first career plate appearance for Musgrave. One strike with Castro at first. Made contact, was a little bit late.
A little tardy.
1-2.
Guys will be yelling to him, take the donut off.
It's bad if it comes out of both dugouts.
Right.
Slowly hit to second, and Sandoval, still with that third base arm slot, flips it over to first, and we'll go to the 5th inning. Rockies 4, the Giants 4.
2008. It was in Texas. Carlos Gonzalez made his major league debut. He still remembers it.
I remember everything about it. I didn't sleep the night before when they told me after the game that I was going to be making my MLB debut the next day. Remember calling everybody in my family, going straight to the airport. I had to catch up an early flight, so I didn't get any sleep. I slept a little bit in the plane. So as soon as I got there, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to start today because I was running a little late. But as soon as I got to the ballpark, I saw my name in the lineup, and I got those chills, man. Just excited to be in the stadium and playing the game that I love.
His first hit came in the third inning off Kevin Millwood, somebody that he'd become teammates with later on in his career. And I want to point out, Cargo is one of 3 Rockies all time to have over 700 hits at Coors Field. Todd Helton, Larry Walker, and Carlos Gonzalez. Pretty cool stuff, guys.
Really cool stuff. And I'll give you another list of guys that have hit in their career the last 10 years above 280 with a couple hundred home runs and more than 700 RBIs and more than 120 steals. That's a list of 2. He and Ryan Braun.
That's crazy.
Think about that.
It's a great career.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous career, and hopefully there's a lot left in the tank. Brandon Belt at the plate. Evan Longoria and Brandon Crawford to follow. Harrison Musgrave in relief of John Gray. And hitters so far against Musgrave, 4 for 32 since he came to the big leagues. Lefties are 0 for 10.
The other night he had to come in. He pitched 2 innings. He only threw 21 pitches in those 2 innings. 16. Ouch. I'm going to say 16 for strikes as he hits Brandon Belt.
Belt will go down to first, and that'll bring up Longoria.
Is this in the elbow? Yeah, tricep. Subaru Supermo. Brandon does not want to. Doesn't wear an arm guard on that lead elbow.
Yeah, and he's a guy that gets hit a fair amount. He's a lot like Anthony Rizzo. If you saw where his feet were in the box, this is not a fault. This is just how he goes about it. He is right on the white line on that inside corner. He hangs out over the plate.
And he doesn't wear one of the arm guards, so that's
Tough
a
guy.
little unusual.
Yeah. Longoria struck out twice against Gray, a 1-0 count. Rocky's got to get some momentum back. He's been traffic every inning for San Francisco. And again, if you're just joining us, the Rockies got off to a tremendously fast start. Gray put the Giants down in the first. The Rockies had 3 runs on 5 hits in the first inning. It included a 3-run home run from Nolan.
The Rockies are out hitting the Giants, but last inning, when they scored the 2, they only had one hit.
Yeah, 3 walks. And then, of course, the sack bunt that Gray had trouble with. Those are 2 bad misses in a row. So it's 3-0.
He's got the green light. Bet that.
Should mention that Jeff Samardzija was placed on the disabled list today by the Giants. Right shoulder tightness. Tyler Beatty was brought up from Sacramento. This ball is hit well to center field. Charlie is not going to be able to catch it. Belt was to second. Now he's to third. He's heading home. He's going to score. Throw goes to third. It's a triple. And the Giants lead 5-4. 30th RBI for Evan Longoria.
You've had walks come back to score. You've had hit by pitches come back to score. First triple of the season for Longoria, 20th of his career. But you fall behind to the good hitters and veteran hitters, and they'll make you pay. Longoria did on the 3-1 pitch. That wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. Out in right center, and then once it got by Charlie, he scored easily, and just like that, the Giants are ahead.
The Rockies will play it back with nobody out, so they're going to concede a run if Crawford gets it in play in the middle of the diamond. The Rockies are in on the corners. You get Crawford without the run scoring. You see the Rockies pull the infield in. Longoria now 15 ribbies and 16 career games against the Rockies. And that's a base hit, and it's now 6-4. Crawford's second hit of the night. That's his 24th RBI. This game's completely turned around. That's why when people ask Buddy, and he was dealing with this question on a nightly basis for more than a month about the Rockies' offense or lack thereof most nights, he always brought it back to pitching. And it's not just because that's what he was, but he understands that the essence of this sport has been and will always be about run prevention.
Well, think about how many one-run games the Rockies have won.
10-5 in one-run games.
And you're going to find a way that you get one guy on, you can do some things, you can bunt him over. This is going to be a night, though, where you're going to have to outslug the Giants.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way right now. Williamson takes 1-0.
And you can talk about the Giants' record, but what they have done in May, they've hit 280. But their ERA is last, and the record's 10-16. So maybe the essence of pitching, you look no further than the Giants.
Well, with the addition of McCutchen, even though McCutchen hasn't torn it up, Longoria certainly come on after a really slow start. But when you have two guys like that in the lineup, I mean, McCutchen's a former MVP, Longoria's a many-time All-Star, and you add that to Posey and Belt and Crawford, that's a formidable lineup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, they're going to make you work for everything. It's kind of like the Mets, another team that make you work for everything.
Yeah, veteran guys that don't expand. See if the Rockies can turn this over. I don't know if that was the right decision by Castro.
No, I think he should have gone to second, because Crawford did the right thing. He stopped and laid down. That extra second it takes you to reach for the runner allows Williamson to beat it out. So if he gets it right here, just a nice little backhand flip to Trevor, let Trevor use his strong arm, that's a double play.
And an easy one, to be honest with you.
Oh, heck yeah. But watch Crawford. He almost slides halfway there. So you're not going to get to me that easily. I'm going to make you work for it on the Subaru Supermo. And see how Daniel had trouble with getting it out.
Daniel's done a great job at second, but that's kind of a mental miscue.
Yeah, I think if you ask him, can I have a do-over? He'd do it over, flip it underhand to Trevor, and Rockies would have turned another double play.
Sandoval from the right side, where he's just 2 for 16. Last 5 years, from the right side of the plate, he's hit under 200. Early in his career, he was a really tough out from the right side.
From 2008 to 2014 with San Francisco, He had 294 with 106 RBIs. That was the guy Boston thought they were getting. They didn't get him because he had 237, just 14 home runs from 2015 to 2017.
This ball to center field. Charlie will gather it in, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Derek Holland. Now you can watch your favorite Isotope stars make their journey to the big leagues with the Colorado Rockies. AT&T Sportsnet is your home for Rockies baseball all season long and is available on most cable and satellite packages. Visit AT&TSportsnet.com for channel information. There's a strike. Rockies began tonight's game 2 games up in the National League West because Arizona lost 7-4 earlier against Cincinnati.
Cincinnati came back in that game.
They were down 4-zip. Giants 5 back. They're in 4th. The Dodgers 4.5 back. Dodgers just underway against Philadelphia out on the West Coast. One and 2. Rockies will have the top of the order next inning against Derek Holland. That'll end the inning. 2 more runs for the Giants in the 5th. They scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. They lead at 6-4. Lodge Casino, your first choice for fun. You want to have fun, you bring Spilly along. That's bad acting right there. Just gotta call it like it is. Got the Hebrew National dogs going, nicely done. Low-fat dogs I saw.
Pineapple.
Why have we received none of this food?
Because this party ate it all. Everybody ate all the food. It's gone. Sorry. I've always been curious what the prize in a new Cracker Jack box is. It's this.
And that is?
You have to go online, download an app, aim and frame, and then you'll find out. You get a digital experience.
It's too much work.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going through all the rigmarole. I use this stuff. I've never actually ate it.
Do you know
That's
what?
good. I like
That
the
actually
cracker.
was reminiscent of the Philly Fanatic visiting us last year. Go for it.
I know you probably can't see that tweet, Billy, but somebody says you're going to weigh 250 pounds by the end of the season.
That's so nice. It's probably Mike Kruko. Like I'm doing my best to make sure I eat salad all the time. My wife pays attention if I'm eating hot dogs and Cracker Jacks. I actually had a Polish, so not technically a hot dog, and it's still a sandwich, low calories.
With pineapple on it, so you got a little
With
fruit in
pineapple,
there.
yeah, fruit.
Yeah,
It's good for you.
Well done. Perfect. All right, Spilly, we'll check back with you in a few.
The other side in about an inning.
Is that right? They're kicking you out of there?
They're kicking me out. Have you guys had enough of me yet?
I'm serious. Do they even know you're there?
They don't.
This guy wandering around, it's like a prop.
It's all
Come
good.
on back, Billy. Come on back, bub.
It's all
We
good.
miss you.
No, you don't. It's okay.
Bring
I'm coming back with some runs. I know I'm going to come
Okay,
back with,
good.
like, for the Rockies.
Rockies
Rockies
runs, and a little food for your buddies upstairs.
Okay. I'll bring you some peanuts.
6-4, the Rockies trailing. They're at the top of the order. I think it's an important inning. Third time through against Derek Holland. The Rockies got after him early. The Giants have made a change. They've flipped out Pablo Sandoval at second for Kelby Tomlinson.
Wouldn't you know it, first ball.
And Tomlinson, who had a miserable night last night on defense, fields that one out.
Only 60.
Charlie was 2 for 2 prior to that.
I was going to say only 61 pitches for Derek Holland, and he's retired 8 out of the last 9 Rockies.
Well, his offense has supported him, and now he's kind of gotten on a little bit of a roll. Noel Cuevas, base hit and a run scored in the first. He came around on the 3-run jack by Arenado, and then a fly ball to left field. One ball, 1 strike. 11th start this year for Holland.
San Francisco has won just 3 of the 10 previous times he started.
Lost to the Cubs in his last start. And this is a rollover ground ball to Crawford. Keeping the Rockies off balance with his off-speed stuff.
That's what it is now. He's not showing fastball. Everything's soft. It's getting the Rockies out on their front foot.
Time for the Coors Light refreshing finish. Well, this was a refreshing beginning. Nolan in the first with his 11th home run of the year. RBIs 32, 33, and 34. Just mark him down for 20-plus ribbies every year against San Francisco. Bruce Bochy does.
Some monster home runs.
That is his 66th home run against the West since the start of 2015. He dwarfs everybody else in the division in hitting home runs against the rivals. Paul Goldschmidt is next with 46. Paul went deep today.
Yes.
Then Blackman and Cargo.
But
I
by
mean,
20.
by 20. If he was out in front by 8, you'd say, man, that's a pretty big lead.
That's what I was going to say. 5 to 7, you say, okay, but 20.
Well, Holland just keeps doubling up, change up.
Well, the
Softer.
third time through the lineup, if Holland gets to it, Holland's hitting 132 off. So that's what he does, is he'll go soft, softer, and softest instead of showing you the fastball like you think you're going to get. You know, it might be for show, but he wants you to reach for everything. Whether it's a changeup or the curveball or slider.
He tripled up on it there. 3-1. Story on deck. Final game that the Rockies will play in the month of May. It's turned into a very strong month. The Rockies 15-10.
Last May they were 17-12.
I believe this will be the first time in team history they've gone back-to-back Mays above 500. So now with 2 outs, Story will hit with Nolan at first. Best May they ever had was in 2000. They went 17-8. In 02 they went 19-10. Story hitting just about 300 in that cleanup spot this year. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And the time they got him out in the 3rd inning, he hit a hard shot off the leg of Holland, and it ricocheted right to Longoria.
He didn't hardly have to move.
Well, Holland couldn't move out of the way, and Longoria, as you said, didn't have to move. It came right to him. Didn't see the stat cast on it, but that game came off the bat in triple digits. And a dirt ball, and Nolan with a good read. You talk about it all the time. Read ball angle, ball flight to the plate.
That's the key. And then once you see the catcher start to go down to his knees, that's when you can also get that extra step. So Nolan sees him go down to his knees, see where the ball kicks off. It's going away from the field of play. So you take advantage of the wild pitch.
And you can almost steal a run. Walk, wild pitch. Outfield obviously very deep for Story. And now it's 3-0. And Holland has Cargo on deck.
I was just looking down in the dugout, Bruce Bochy, if he was going to
you know what? A week ago, he may have said, go ahead, put him on. We'll go left on left. Cargo's struggling. His numbers against lefties aren't good, except coming into tonight, 5 for his last 9 against lefties. And the last 3 days, he looks a whole lot like the guy that's tormented Bruce Bochy through the years.
So that shows you the difference in the lineup when Cargo's doing his thing.
Three and 1 on Trevor. And not surprisingly, no fastball. He got a changeup, and now they're 2 on for Cargo. Cargo, who is unfamiliar, Huey, with Holland coming in, now has 2 at-bats, and he's seen some pitches that he can file away.
And that's a good thing for him, because last night for Cargo, 0 for 3 to start the night, but then ends up 2 for 5 with another RBI.
And his last at bat, he hit a ball to fairly deep center field, and he didn't miss it by much.
No, he didn't. Last 3 ball games, home run, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored, raised his batting average. And that's coming into tonight, up to 256. Multi-hit games in 3 straight.
Holland got 2 quick outs against Charlie and Noel Cuevas. See if Cargo can make him pay here. Nolan at second, Trevor at first. Whoa. Do you sit soft here, Huey?
Hard to do, but I think if you're Cargo in this pitch, especially after the pitching coach comes out, you know, most of the time it's fastball.
Former A, Kurt Young.
I think he throws a changeup here.
That's what exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's thrown about 75% changeups here in the inning. 1-0. And this should be a base hit. No. Caught out there and centered by Hernandez. I didn't think he'd get to it.
No, I didn't either.
Neither did Cargo. He flipped his helmet off in disgust. That saved a run, that catch by Gorkys Hernandez. 6-4 as we go to the 6th. Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Well, Gorkys Hernandez, who's going to lead it off here in the 6th inning, stole a base hit from Cargo and kept the Rockies from narrowing the gap. 6-4. San Francisco. Scott Oberg just came back to the big leagues yesterday. He worked 2/3 of an inning last night, and he'll have Hernandez, Posey, and McCutchen in the 6th.
They gave up a base hit to the first guy he faced, but then was able to retire Brandon Crawford, Kelby Tomlinson. For anybody, you know, especially a pitcher that had been sent out to come back, that first game's always nerve-wracking. You know, getting back into the flow of things. You don't feel some of those nerves and jitters down in AAA.
Hernandez going to bunt his way on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sharply hit, but it's at Trevor. And Story will throw out Hernandez. Dodgers now leading 1-0 at home against Philadelphia. Padres at home against Miami, scoreless in the 3rd. And once again, Arizona lost earlier at Chase Field 7-4 to Cincinnati. Inside on Posey. Posey walked in the 4th inning to force in a run. John Gray walked Hernandez with the bases loaded, and then he walked Posey with the bases loaded. The Rockies had a 4-2 lead prior to that. And of course, after the walk to Posey, he was removed from the game. Andrew McCutchen lined into kind of a strange double play because the ball was in and out of the glove of Story, but it worked out nicely because he was right around the bag. He flipped to Castro, who threw to first. McCutchen kind of stopped, thinking he was out on the line drive, and got the Rockies off the field. That was
And
McCutcheon against Harrison Musgrave.
Yeah, every once in a blue moon, you'll see an infielder do that where they'll drop it on purpose. That one wasn't. It was in the glove, was hit pretty hard, trying to catch and secure it. That's where it just dropped out right there, and it worked out okay.
You wish you could think that fast, right?
Yeah.
Were you ever able to do that?
One time, but it wasn't in the big leagues. It was down at AAA where you got it, dropped it, and as long as you don't make it look too obvious, the umpires aren't going to call it.
Fouled off again by Posey. Well, the Rockies have Wade Davis, if they can get the lead, back in the fold tonight. He was unavailable last night after throwing a number of pitches on Monday night, worked briefly on Sunday. Fastball just low, 3-2. Center field, and it's going to die in front of Charlie. So a base hit for Posey. That'll bring up McCutcheon, who's 2 for 3.
Just a difference right there. 2 line drives. Cargo's held up long enough for Gorkis Hernandez to catch it. That one didn't. I mean, that's just the way baseball is sometimes.
McCutcheon hits his ball to Cargo in right. Two in the books. That'll bring up Brandon Belt. Belt started a 2-run rally in the 5th when he was hit by a pitch by Musgrave.
Had to lead off that inning.
Yeah, and Longoria tripled. That made it 5-4. And Crawford singled home Longoria, 6-4. That's where we stand. Plenty of time in the ball game. 6th inning.
Fans catch the best fireworks show in town this summer on Tuesday, July 3rd and Wednesday, July 4th. Following the games with the San Francisco Giants. Those always are spectacular. Really watching those fireworks shows.
It is special around the 4th of July here. Castro makes the catch. Oberg, a solid 6th inning. Rockies need to get to work on offense. They'll have Desmond to lead things off, down 2.
Tonight for both clubs. John Gray, not a good night for John. 3 1/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 91 pitches. On the flip side, Derek Holland started off rough for him, but then he settled in the last 3 innings. Give up only 4 runs as well. New pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, Reyes Maranta, the right-hander.
Rockies saw Maranta on Monday night. He pitched just a third of an inning, gave up 1 hit, nothing else across. So Reyes Maranta will face Desmond, Castro, Walters here in the Rockies 6th. Again, the Rockies had a 3-0 lead early, and they now trail 6-4. Desmond's hit it hard twice, a base hit and a line out. Line drive to Longoria, slider, strike 1.
Well, after that first inning, I didn't think Derek Holland would be able to go 5 innings.
Derek Holland didn't think he was going to go 5 innings.
Yeah. Still plenty of time.
The Rockies have 8 hits, and they had 5 in the first inning against Holland. Holland ends up going 5, gives up 4 runs on those 8 hits. 2 strikes on Desmond. And Desmond knew it was strike 3.
He painted on the Subaru strike zone.
And with 1 out, Castro, who's 2 for 2, will come up. Let's go check in again with Spilly. What's happening, dude?
We're on our way back. Thanks everybody for the party. I had a great time. Nobody else did. I had a great party. It was great. And look at this cute little hot dog that just showed up. I think every year we should be able to do this. Thank you to the Casey for having us here. And next party's next Wednesday, 5 o'clock.
Is that a St. Bernard, Spilly?
It's a Chihuahua, Drew. Are you crazy? Don't you know your dogs? It's a Chihuahua.
You taught me about dogs last year on Bark in the Park.
This one's not a sandwich.
He's adorable. Is that puppy?
Why is he running away from you?
Because I smell like hot dog. All right, we'll be back. We got some runs coming.
Bring us some runs.
We're bringing home runs. We're bringing some runs.
2 outs, and that'll bring up Tony Walters. That's a foul ball. Ryan McMahon, if Tony can reach, will hit next. So check this out, Huey. The last 23 games for the Giants, their starting pitcher has produced and I put the air quotes around it, a quality start 3 times. That includes tonight. Holland goes 5 innings, 4 runs. And the Giants, who are notoriously good, as you see Samardzija there on the mound, have been notoriously bad this year.
Well, just during these 23 games, 22 coming into tonight, they had a 6.34 ERA during that time.
That's to Belt, and that'll end the inning. So the Rockies go quietly in the 6th inning. We'll go to the 7th, 6-4 San Francisco. Booney, Lexus look back. Things started nicely for the Rockies. Nolan a 3-run jack in the first. But John Gray, even though he was able to get some strikeouts tonight, struggled once again. And John, unfortunately, was gone after 3 1/3. 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. That catch saved a run. That was off the bat of Carlos Gonzalez. Nice play by Gorkys Hernandez. So it's 6-4 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Evan Longoria will lead it off. Longoria tripled in a run in the 5th. He's starting to heat up. Second inning of work for Scott Oberg. Most of the production's been middle bottom of the order for San Francisco.
Well, from 5 on down, they've scored 5 runs.
One ball, 1 strike.
6 of the 9 hits from 5 on down.
Ball and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. We're talking about the Giants and how they've dropped off on the hill. Their ERA is 13th in the National League. Their WHIP is 13. They don't strike many guys out. Last in the National League. So all the meaningful pitching stats are very unfavorable. It's one of the reasons that San Francisco's 25-30 beginning play tonight.
Yeah, just 1-6 on the road trip for him this year. On this road trip, excuse me.
And that's bounced foul. Longoria fouls off another pitch. Rockies on the weekend will welcome in the Dodgers. With his sunglasses in their attempt to get the baseball.
Speaking of that, did you see Carlos Gomez borrow a pair of sunglasses from somebody in the stands?
Hold on, I missed that happened?
Yes. Playing in Oakland. He needed some sunglasses, went over to an A's fan, borrowed his sunglasses. The guy gave them to him. He makes the catch. As he's running back into the dugout, he gives the sunglasses back to the fan.
Did he get a tip?
Next time, bring your glasses out when it's sunny. That's the tip he got.
Well, how would you not have sunglasses?
I have no idea, but it was a sight.
Do you remember that? It was last year, I think. We were doing a game somewhere, and a guy lost the ball in the sun with sunglasses on his head.
Yes. Nothing will infuriate a manager or a pitcher more than when you do that.
At least put him on. If you lose him in the sun, okay, tough luck. Crawford to Nolan. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Mac Williamson. The Rockies will have a pinch hitter to begin the 7th inning. And then it'll be Blackman, Cuevas, and hopefully others joining the party. Williamson tonight, single, double, and reached on a fielder's choice. This is going to be a tough play for Nolan. He goes bare hand, throw to first. Was he on the bag? Out at first base. Desmond hung on. Great play by 28. And it's a 1-2-3 seventh. This is worthy of another look. Yeah, Williamson runs pretty well. And Nolan able to just get him, and the toe on the bag. Well done on both ends on our Subaru Superbo. 6-4 Giants.
On June 10th, we'll receive a junior fire marshal fire helmet, courtesy of the Hartford. June 10th, Sunday against the D-backs. New pitcher for the Giants, Tony Watson. Tony pitched a couple days ago. 2 innings, 3 hits allowed, and 1 earned run.
Rockies have swung the bat well against him. So's other teams. 275 batting average for a guy that is used to having success late in the games is unusually high. Gregor Blanco's in for Mac Williamson defensively. So Parra pinch hitting, then Blackman and Cuevas. And the slider's off the plate. There's not the same zip on the fastball with Tony Watson, and therefore there's not the same zip on the slider.
And not the same intimidation you might have. Because when he was with Pittsburgh and firing, it was just pellets up there.
Yeah, he was as good as there was on the left side in baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just missed. A break for Parra. Looked like he was on the edge of the Subaru strike zone. 2-1. Parra hitting .342 in the month of May, including a couple home runs, 11 driven in. Even though he swung the bat well, because Cargo's really swinging it well. He's lost some playing time. That's a strike. 2-2. David Dahl's heated up, and if you ask Buddy, that these are good problems to have, right?
Great problems to have. Unless you're one of those 3 guys saying, I want more playing time. But then when it's your turn, you got to produce.
And Watson with a strikeout of Parra, 1 out. And that'll bring up Blackman, who's 2 for 3, including an RBI. Rockies 3 in the first, a run in the second, nothing since. In fact, Huey, since the second inning, the Rockies have 1 hit. That was a Castro single with 1 out in the 4th inning. In the 5th inning, with 2 outs, Arenado and Story walked, and then Cargo had that line drive that was snagged in sliding fashion by. That's a break for
Big
Blackman. Longoria, I don't know if he took a peek at the stands. I think Evan will tell you that he should have caught that.
When it goes off the edge of your glove and you're still 3, maybe 4 feet away from the stands. But you know who will take it? Besides that fan, souvenir going home, it's going to be Charlie Blackman.
See if Charlie can take advantage. Yeah, Charlie was just standing at home plate when he kind of chipped that foul, and he's saying, "You got to be kidding me."
Yeah. Well, remember what I said last night? I think, you know, a check swing. The only thing worse is if you dribble it back to the pitcher. Well, that would have been bad if it was a little check swing, little flare to Longoria.
Away, 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 and it's a 2-1 count. Sam Dyson is up, and with 3 righties coming after Blackman, and of course nobody mixes and matches more than Bruce Bochy. You got to figure he may be in there. This is out of play. You know, for years when the Giants, think about it here real quick, for years when the Giants were winning world championships, 2010, 2012, 2014, it was so much about their bullpen. Affelt and Lopez on the left side, Casilla on the right side, Sergio Romo on the right side. Night in and night out.
And you knew what you were going to get.
Yep. 2 outs.
It always seems like Bochy had extra guys in his bullpen. I know he doesn't, but it just felt that way because how many times he would go out to the mound and change pitchers. It's like, wait a second, you're playing with a 25-man roster, right? Same as everybody else. But it seemed like 18 of those guys were pitchers.
And they seemed so consistent. Cuevas with nobody on. We'll see. Watson, I think, had Blackman reached.
Yes.
Dyson would be in the game.
And then it would have forced Bud's hand. What does he want to do? Does he want to flip out Noel for David Dahl?
And a comebacker for the Rockies all of a sudden in this game have gone empty offensively for several innings. We'll go to the 8th. 6-4 San Francisco. That is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By UC Health, live extraordinary. And by T-Mobile, show your military appreciation and use the hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. Rockies trying to sweep the Giants, but right now they're -2 on the scoreboard. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Ryan Spilborghs, and Jake McGee's going to take over at the top of the 8th inning. 2 good innings from Scott Oberg tonight. And the Rockies now have Gerardo Parra in left field.
The pitcher in Noel's spot. What is that? A little drizzle?
You know, I see clear skies off to the northwest, so my guess is this is not going to affect the game very much. How's that for an amateur forecast?
Very nice.
Very amateurish.
Well, I'm rather lucky this year. I know we had the rain delay, was that 2 nights ago? What? Monday.
It was on Memorial Day, right?
Memorial Day. Now you got me thinking.
I know. We can't figure out what day of the week it is. There was a 55-minute rain delay at the outset. The Rockies have not lost a game. They have to be. This is, oh man, that's off Jake. Going to be a base hit for Tomlinson.
What is it with pitchers being hit in this series?
Yesterday, as they're going to check on Jake, I think he's okay just based on how he's reacting. But Keith Duggar goes out. Yesterday, when Derek Rodriguez got hit, they removed him from the game, and he checked out fine. X-rays were negative. In fact, talking to Ronnie Wotus today, their third base coach, he is just fine.
Well, and he would have stayed in the game longer if he had not been hit.
He had a nice debut. He threw the ball well, and he also threw out an RBI double.
Looks like he checks out just fine to get the signal from the umpire that that was not a mound visit.
The Rockies have retired the Giants in order 1 time tonight. That was Oberg last inning. So Tomlinson at first, and now Blanco with his first at bat. He's just 1 for 13 against the Rockies this year. That's a good bunt, and Desmond gets it to Castro for the out. So on the sacrifice, Tomlinson to second. And the top of the order, represented by Gorkys Hernandez, will come up.
He had come bounding in on that ball, and
needed to.
Yeah, he had to with Blanco's speed.
So Hernandez steps up. And that pitch misses, ball 1. Rockies in the bottom of the 8th inning will have Nolan, Story, and Cargo. Middle 3 in the Rockies lineup for Buddy Black. Hernandez 0 for 3 and a walk, 0 for 4 yesterday. That snapped a 10-game hitting streak for Hernandez. Last couple of outings, we've seen a few more 94s and 95s from Jake.
Well, that's good because prior to that we've seen some 91s and 92s. You know, I think Jake's also one of those guys, you give him a little bit more rest in between appearances. He gets that velocity and keeps it.
I think all relievers are different in how they recover. There truly are some guys that have a rubber arm. Brian Shaw's one of those guys.
Yeah, he can get the ball every single day. Or when you make 70+ appearances for the last, what, 5 years?
And he's on pace for that again this year. He's leading the National League in appearances with 30. Got Posey on deck. Jake really taking his time. Five of the Rockies' 8 hits came in the first inning. The Giants now have 10 hits.
The Rockies haven't had a base runner past second base since Tony Walters scored in the second. Nolan got the second and the fifth, and that has been it.
And this is a wild pitch. And now the Rockies will have to bring the infield in. Well, Oberg pitched well, but other than that, the Rockies have been sloppy on the hill today.
And this is the second wild pitch tonight. I think Tony.
That's a fastball that's spiked, which is really tough on a catcher.
It's incredibly hard. You're not thinking that ball's going to hit where it did. You think it might be low, but not that it's going to skip.
2-2 with the infield drawn in. Line drive toward Cargo. Momentum coming to the plate, and Tomlinson comes halfway down and then puts on the brakes. You always go over arms early in the game. Well, they go over it in the clubhouse about 5 hours ago, and Tomlinson knows Cargo's got one of the great arms in baseball, and he had all of his momentum going toward home.
Well, and he saw how low the throw was coming in, so that's why Kelby Tomlinson stopped literally halfway between third and home, because he saw where that throw was going. He could tell that it was going to be on the mark. And so he pumped the brakes, because also you have Buster Posey coming to the plate.
Ball one. Buster's 1 for 3 and a walk. And that catches the bottom of the zone. 1-1.
Jake's had the upper hand against Posey just 2 times, though. Posey's 0 for 2 against Jake.
Back up the middle, base hit, and make it a 3-run lead now for the Giants. 7-4 on the RBI single for Posey, his second ribby of the day. He's got 19. It's a big 2-out hit.
Buster Posey's second RBI today. Back-to-back hits for Posey and back-to-back at-bats. Right back up the box past Jake McGee, and Kelby Tomlinson is able to come on home with 2 outs.
McCutchen 2 for 4.
Last night the Giants were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The day before 2 for 12. today, 3 for 7.
You said it earlier. You just had that feeling middle innings that this was an outscore 'em type of game. And that is in fact what will have to happen with 6 outs remaining on offense for the Rockies. They're down 7-4. 3 of the 4 pitchers used tonight by Buddy have given up runs. Scott Oberg was really good for 2 innings. Musgrave an inning and 2/3 gave up a couple. John Gray lasted just 10 outs. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. He walked 3, walked 2 guys in fact. And now Jake McGee has given up a run here in the top of the 8th. 1 and 2.
And 2 hits given up by Jake tonight. Opponents were hitting .091 against Jake in his first 11 appearances. The last 10, .375.
And another wild pitch. Posey moves up. That's 2 wild pitches on McGee. John Gray had a wild pitch.
I think both of the wild pitches for Jake have been the fastball wild pitches.
And that gets away. Walters to first in time. Whoa. In the inning, a run on a couple of hits. Rockies trail 7-4. Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. So here we go, bottom of the 8th inning. Time getting late, as they say. Sam Dyson is now in there pitching for the Giants. And the Rockies have the big boys, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Carlos Gonzalez. Gotta crank that offense up. Looked like they were going to put another double figure double figures in runs tonight the way this one started. Nolan hit a 3-run home run in the first. Rockies got another run in the second, but not much doing since then.
No, and you're thinking for sure double digits in hits for the 5th straight game. They've done it 4 straight now. Still have 6 outs to go, so that's a possibility. I think you got to knock off a run or two at least in this inning. I don't want to wait till the 9th and try to come back down from 3. And Sam Dyson pitched a couple nights ago. 1 inning, had a strikeout against the Rockies. Righty's hitting 170. The left-hander's hitting 265.
Way inside again on Nola. Crowd's all upset. Trust me, I don't think Sam Dyson wants to put runners on base with his team up by 3. He's just wild right now.
Yeah, missed that badly on 2 pitches.
That you hate when you're hitter 2-0. You check your swing.
Well, Nolan or Charlie did it, but his wasn't 2-0.
And another comebacker. 1 out. And the Rockies have 1 hit since the 2nd inning. That was Castro with a 1-out single in the 4th. 8 in a row retired by a combination of Holland, Miranda, Watson, and now Dyson. Trevor Story, 1 for 2 and a walk.
And I was going to say, of those 8, the only one was that Cargo line drive to center field. Has been hit hard.
Story takes a strike. Trevor leads all National League shortstops in home runs with 11. Ribby's with 39. He's among the league leaders in RBIs. A lot of teams naturally have tried to pitch around Arenado, and Story's taking care of business, especially here at Coors Field, where his OPS is just under 1,200. Ball and a strike. Sam Dyson working a Story. Cargo on deck. And an easy play for Longoria.
Well, Rockies baseball is always live with the MLB At Bat mobile app. Stay connected all season with video highlights, stats, news, and more.
Cargo tonight, 3-6-3 double play. Fly ball to deep center, and then the line drive that Gorkys Hernandez made a sliding catch on to prevent the Rockies from scoring. That was in the 5th inning. Yesterday, the Rockies pounded out 15 hits. They had 10 extra base hits, including 8 doubles.
That's the 7th time in franchise history they have had 8 doubles in a game.
So 10 extra base hits yesterday. Their previous high this year was 7. So he just kind of blew that out of the water. Looking for a late rally tonight. And this is in the air to shallow left. This is going to drop. And Cargo heading towards second with a double.
Baseball's a funny game. You hit one, you break your bat right off the end. It kind of finds a hole down the left field line, but Cargo been working hard on his swing, and now another hit tonight, 1 for 4. I'm sure he would have traded this one for that line drive he had with a couple runners on in the 5th. Love the hustle, though.
Desmond now with Dahl on deck. If Desmond can reach, Dahl would hit for Castro. David came off the bench yesterday and blasted a 2-run home run to left center. Desmond tonight, a base hit, a line out, and he was caught looking. 5 hits in the series. Dodgers in the 4th inning now up on Philadelphia 5-0. They'll be in over the weekend. Up the middle, and this will be a base hit. Crawford saved a run, but the tying run will come up in David Dahl.
That doesn't go down as a put out assist, but it's assist to the Giants for just knocking that ball down. Brandon Crawford has a .976 fielding percentage, which is the highest in Giants history. He's played over 1,000 games with the Giants. He knows right now he's not going to be able to get Desmond, so he immediately spins and tries to get Cargo
and
at third.
The only other lefty in the bullpen for San Francisco is Will Smith, but he pitched in the first 2 games of this series. Not available tonight. They have nobody up. So it's the right-hander Dyson against Dahl. The matchup Buddy Black was hoping for.
Been a rough 3 games for the legs of David Dahl. He had that slide at second base 2 nights ago where he hurt his shin. This time it goes off his toe. He's just trying to walk it off right now. He has no feeling, or the feeling that he does have in his toe, it's a lot of pain.
That pitch, especially to a lefty, so many lefties, their natural swing path, down and in, create loft and turn and hit the ball out, and that's what David saw there, and unfortunately
didn't hit the ankle guard, the pad that he's wearing.
Yep. Well, if David walks it off, we'll tell you that against right-handed pitching, Dahl is hitting .339. Pick up his bat again. First and third with 2 outs. The fly ball double by Cargo. The infield hit for Desmond. Outfield exceptionally deep. Fouled off. Longoria is going to give it a try, but he almost caught that.
He almost caught it.
I didn't think there was any way he was going to be able to make a play on that, and he almost did.
Yeah, when that ball went up, well, that's just going to be a foul ball. Longoria takes a peek, and then it was too late. It was off the heel of the glove. That's 2 tonight. Use this to your advantage, David.
2-strike count on Dahl. Cargo at third, Desmond at first. Dahl with a ground ball right to Bell. That'll end the inning and the threat. So we'll go to the ninth. 7-4 San Francisco.
Giants lead. We're getting ready for the Toyota postgame show. Jenny Kavnar with Corey Sullivan. Not the start the Rockies were looking for from John Gray.
No, in 2 starts against the San Francisco Giants, they're his 2 shortest. He's gotten 7 innings total, and it's taken 169 pitches to just get 21 outs. Some of that can be attributed to the veteran at bats fouling pitches off. The rest of it can be attributed to John not throwing enough strikes.
Yeah, not a great night indeed. Well, hopefully the Rocks bats have some answers. For that, we'll send it back to Drew and Huey for the ninth.
All right, Jenny, Sully, thanks very much. Chris Russin is on the mound to throw the top of the 9th inning. Ryan McMahon is in the ballgame at second base as well.
It's been a rough go for Chris this year. He's probably had 2 or 3 games where he's really on top of it, and then unfortunately he had that rib cage.
We may get a delay here because there was this big lightning in the area, and then thunder.
Rain's coming down harder.
And the thunder wasn't that far after the lightning.
No.
Brandon Belt's at the plate. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Fly ball to Cargo. That's not easy.
No.
I mean, you've been there where there's raindrops pounding in your face, and it's not like you can turn away. You got to see the baseball.
It's kind of like when you're in the shower and the rain shower's coming down, and you look up and you got raindrops in your eyes. And that's what Cargo's battling right now. Is you can't blink either to try to shield it, so you just got to fight through it.
And you know what's interesting, Cargo, and they're big leaguers. They catch the ball with one hand, a lot of them typically, and it's fine. He used 2 hands there.
Well, he wanted to make sure. That rain coming down.
Outside on Longoria, 1 ball, 1 strike. From Russin. So the Rockies in the 9th inning will have Walters followed by McMahon. Well, maybe not. Let me look at that lineup again. That's a strikeout of Longoria. That's Parra. I mean, correct that, 'cause he's in left field. They'll have Parra, Walters, Parra, Blackman. Hunter Strickland will be on the mound for San Francisco. 2 outs. Manfred, a couple hits and 4 at-bats tonight. Two strikes.
The rain's let up somewhat. Not raining as hard as it was when it started this inning.
And a good inning from Russin. A couple of strikeouts. That's a Chris Russin we're used to seeing. Rockies down 3 as they come to bat in the bottom of the ninth. Leading the Rockies, bottom of the ninth inning. Tony Walters will lead it off. The Giants closer right now with Mark Melanson down is Hunter Strickland. League hitting .202 against Strickland. Rockies saw Strickland in game 1. The Rockies 6-5 victory in 10, and they beat him in the 10th inning. He ended up giving up a run in a third of an inning, couple hits. He walked a couple of guys. That was the walk-off winner off the bat of Chris Iannetta. That would work well again.
Yeah, and on this road trip for Hunter, 0-1 with the .771 ERA. Hard thrower. Fastball between 95 and 96 on average. Slider and a split to complement the slider.
Here's strike 1.
Only 1 for 4 in his career against Hunter.
Off the end of the bat, 2 strikes.
The left-handers, he'll mix up on his off-speed pitches between the slider and the split. If it's a right-hander, it's just fastball slider.
Fastball away, called by Buster Posey. Rockies need some traffic, down by 3.
Job on that. Laying off that pitch. 83, that's a slider. The split is the harder of the two pitches.
Good eye from Tony. Three-two, bouncing ball to Belt. That'll bring up Gerardo Parra.
Gerardo 0 for 1 on the evening. That came against Tony Watson. Lifetime just 1 for 10 against Strickland. Time to change those numbers up.
Want to know on Gerardo? Such a strange game. Rockies went single, single, home run, single to start the game. 3-0. Derek Holland's head had to be spinning. Desmond also had a hit in the first inning. Rockies got another run in the second. Nothing since.
Holland goes 5. I mean, it's just crazy the way the game is. And I think, you know, if you would have kept the Giants off the board in the second inning, excuse me, and then you tacked on another run, I think this game would have had a different feel to it. But he kind of gave a little bit of life back to the Giants.
Yeah, there's no question. Well, Parra should be able to reach on this. Bose is not even going to kill himself to get after it. He knows he wouldn't have a play. So a strikeout, wild pitch, I think, is how they'll score it. Wait and see. But Parra with 1 out is at first. So there's 1 base runner.
This slider that Buster, that's not a good job of trying to attack that. When you know it's a slider, instead of turning the glove over, knocking it down, it goes through the wickets. Give a little bit of hope. Now, so 2 outs, nobody on. You got runner at first, just 1 out. It will be a wild pitch.
Blackman lines it to center field. He hit it too well, though. 2 outs. Two outs, and that'll bring up Ryan McMahon.
Somehow, some way, you got to get on for Nolan.
Man's been starting at second base, didn't get the nod today because of the lefty going. Castro got the start. Daniel was 2 for 3. The Rockies hope to have DJ LeMahieu back for the Dodgers series this weekend. He played another game at extended today, got multiple at bats, extra batting practice as well.
Alex Wood for the Dodgers.
Rockies are going to miss, fortunately, Kershaw. He's coming back, but he'll pitch tomorrow in the series finale at home for LA against Philadelphia. They will see Walker Buehler.
That'll be Saturday, and then Sunday's TBA.
1-2. Buehler will have a lot of family here. His immediate family now lives in the Denver area.
Yeah, I think his brother goes to Valor.
Valor won the 4A state championship today.
That'd be Pueblo West.
Two and two. Parr reached on a strikeout wild pitch. McMahon trying to get the tying run, and Nolan Arenado to the plate. Here's the 2-2. Line drive, left field, fair ball. Parr at a third will stop there on the double by McMahon, and the Rockies will get 28 to the plate.
That's all you can hope for in this situation. Ryan McMahon coming through again. Another double the opposite way. Fastball, and he goes with the pitch. That wasn't a he got beat kind of swing. That was going with the pitch nicely.
It's always been a strength. We've discussed that of McMahon through his minor league career to go the other way. And since his return, Huey, to the big leagues, his hits have all come to left field. And he's swinging the bat much better in this stint than he did in his initial stint.
Yeah, and with power the other way, too. It's one thing to say he's got his hits the other way, but are they little flares? Are they slicers over there?
Outfield with their backs nearly against the wall. Nolan takes ball one. And what Nolan has to think here, Huey, tell me if you concur, not home run. He has to hit the ball hard, get a base hit. Where the outfield is, there's a potential he could hit a ball in front of these guys and end up at second. He would score two, and he's the tying run for Story.
And if you hit a home run, it's just because you were thinking of squaring the ball up. Hit it hard.
Outside 2-0.
The outfield is so deep, they almost have to buy a ticket to this ball game. And you know, in the other dugout, too, Bruce Bochy's saying, really? Really?
Bruce Bochy's doing what that fan's doing. He's biting his glove.
The one guy.
Two 2-0, just as you'd like to have it if you're Nolan. And he did not get a fastball. 2-1.
Hunter Strickland's wise to that.
We always say it, when you're down by 3 or more, going to the bottom of the ninth, all you can hope for is to get the tying run to the plate. Well, the bonus is it's Nolan. 2-1, he popped it up. This is Tomlinson going out the shallow center, and he makes the catch to end the ball game. So the Rockies, who scored 3 in the first and 1 in the second, get shut out the rest of the way, and a disappointing loss given how things began. 7-4 the final in favor of the Giants. The Rockies do take 2 of 3 from San Francisco. They'll be off tomorrow in front of that 3-game set against the Dodgers. They are now 4-2 so far on this 9-game homestand. Let's get into center field. Here's Jenny and Corey. Jenny?
All right, Drew, thanks so much. The tying run was at the plate, but the Rockies could not prevail. In fact, a rare loss when they score first 21-6 now after the Rockies strike. We'll be right back for the Toyota Postgame Show.